Hello and welcome back to Oolykee Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources. So at Republic Mod Monday we have Stalin posters, Hotel Ukraine and Zeppelins. Again, I know I don't have to say this, but I probably have to. This is a disclaimer. There's a lot of nice mods. You should go and check all of them out. This is just what caught my eye in the last 2 weeks. We didn't record an episode last week. So here we go. We have a little bit more mods. So let's get cracking. Abelian Hike 852, 16th floor prefab house in Yerevan, Armenia. They were built in the late 80s in the northwest side of the Yerevan called Kvartal because of the collapse of the Soviet Union. You're gonna have to read that yourself. Anyway, we have these buildings. There are three and four leaf clovers. Actually, there are three different shaped. There are two buildings in the set. As you can see, the right hand side one has 270 people capacity, and the left one it has 315. Now these are really beautiful buildings. It's kind of classic what Abelian Hike usually makes. The color scheme is similar, so they fit perfectly with each other. There's a lot of residential buildings in similar style but yet different, based on the real buildings in Armenia. So if you want to have a nice set, you can. If we go to a mod section all the way in the back, we can check the price of these buildings. As you can see here, we have 16th floor prefab 1 and 2. They are 20, the smaller one is 20, and 23,000 rubles respectively. It seems a little bit on the cheaper side. It seems to be a little bit more affordable, these buildings. Let's compare them to vanilla. So this one would be 23,000, this is 20,000 rubles respectively. So similar buildings. Do we have anything with vanilla? The biggest ones we have here is 17,000. I believe this would be more or less similar. They do have a little bit, well, they have similar footprints, but much more floors. They are twice the size. Actually, yeah, they look to be a little bit more luxurious apartments. These buildings seems to be twice the height of the vanilla one, and yet it has almost double the footprint. So yeah, I would even say, yeah, it would be a double capacity more or less. So anyway, yeah, it's quite realistic. The price is definitely fits, so big thumbs up in my book. Yep, tiny post office, not secret police. A post office for 5 university-educated loyal comrades who wear black leather cloaks, and 1 car, good for small starter towns, not based on any particular building. This was made by Vicom. This is a small post office, not a secret police, definitely not a secret police. It is post office, and you can buy black post office cars for them. You can buy any personal cars. You will see some of them that we have in Mod Monday that you can put in there, but probably something like this post office vehicle over here would probably fit the best. Anyway, this is like we mentioned, it's just a post office. It does the things that post office usually does in this game, and you can find it in the mod section. You can see it here under secret police, but of course, because we don't have a post office section, it's quite affordable, something for your small starting towns. Check out the link in the description of the video. We have 1906 Zeppelin Pack from Calderian. The pack includes 5 variants of LZ3 Zeppelin built in 1906. They include aggregate, oil, open and cover cargo, and passengers. Be aware that these beauties are slow, really slow, both for realism and balancing reasons. Other than that, as with any other airship mods out there, there is currently no way of preventing them from tilting when moving forward. Right, some general statistics available for 1906, 1965, around 130 meters long, top speed between 40 and 50 kilometers per hour, can carry an average of 9 tons of goods or 25 passengers. The pack took a lot of time to make, and still lack of experience, pretty much everything. Anyway, so please report if you have any issues. You have a link in the description of the video. This was updated there were some updates happened, well, 3 days ago, since I'm recording this on the 26th. But let me show you these beauties. Yes, this looks like it was a really nice work. There's more mods from the same modder. Calderian made couple of mods, loading and unloading bays for these Zeppelins. I wanted to present them on their own, so you can see them here. They have different fins in the end. You can see the really nice detailed work here with the aggregate loading storage. This would be covered hull cargo, as you can see here, and then this one would be a passenger one. You can see the passenger boot over there, and this one should be, indeed, it's oil one, so we can transport liquids in this one. So these are the Zeppelin packs. How do you compare to vanilla ones? Well, you don't, but let's check the price anyway. So if you go to any of your aircraft storages, you have to go to aircraft. They can be bought for rubles. The land of origin would be Germany in this case. Well, general Germany, 1906. There was no Soviet Union at that time, so no Soviet Republic. 31,000. They're more or less the similar prices like helicopters. Mi-8s, you can see the 31,000 rubles compared to them. Comparable as well to other Zeppelin mods, and of course there's 6 of them, as you can see. Anyway, if you want more details on this, please check the link in the description of the video. Mr. Novo, Mr. Wizard, Mr. Novo made canned food factory, a factory that processes crops into canned foods. Aluminium is required to make the cans, and chemical preservatives are used for long shelf life. Employs 30 workers. Added second version to be used that uses steel instead of aluminium to make the cans. So we have 2 factories. You can see that they have difference in the chimneys here. One of them is red, that would be the steel one, and one is gray, that would be aluminium one. You can see here materials required is for 10 tons of food, 9.6 tons of food, you need 12 tons of crops, 0.4 tons of aluminium, and 0.08 tons of chemicals. It's the same amount required. Oh, sorry, my bad. You need twice as much chemicals for steel to produce the same amount of food. Now, I'm just gonna add my little spice to this. First of all, it's of course perfect. Novo, it's incredible. I never expected this. It's ingenious and it's quite realistic, definitely. My 2 cents in this case would be chemicals might not be needed. As far as I understand, some of the canned foods can be processed without chemicals. How they do that? They are actually packed in cans first, and then you cook the cans, so the food inside is cooked, and of course it's hermetically sealed, so it's preserved without usage of chemicals. So you can use cans to preserve the food, you know, it will be pasteurization, but I think like fish and stuff like that, they can be cooked while in cans. So I think version without chemicals also would be quite realistic. But anyway, you have link in the description. Oh, no, you don't. Let's compare the price wise. We didn't check the price for these bad boys. So we have 2 different factories, canned food factory version 1 and 2. The version 1 with is aluminium, and version 2, both of them cost 55,000 rubles. How does it compare to regular factories? Regular food factories in this case would be right here. It would be a little bit cheaper than that, but they are way less productive. So this one would be processing 20 tons of food. It does consume a little bit, it does waste a little bit less of crops, but hey, it's a cannery. So anyway, if you enjoy these kind of mods, go and check the link in the description of the video for Novo's mod. Comrade Joe made us Moscow Unified Frame Towers. This mod provides 2 late Soviet 25-story residential buildings located in Moscow, not far from Ostankino TV Tower. These buildings are not part of standard building series, but instead are individual projects based on KMS-101 catalog, construction components, panels, and etc., and are collectively regrouped under the label of Unified Frame. There's a Cyrillic name for it. I'm gonna just stop now. Which includes various other towers and blocks. Thanks Yuna for the technical infos. The 2 buildings available are identical in construction and habitat spaces, but one of them has bigger balconies in its upper floors. By the way, I'm gonna stop reading now. Everything that I did now, it's red. It took me like 3 minutes to understand what's the difference between the buildings that I will show you. Each has a capacity of 288 adults, 91 and 92 percent quality for the simple and snazzy version respectively. On the top of concrete panel construction materials, there are required some mechanical components for the elevators. Perfect. This is absolutely what we need. Electrical and mechanical components if the building is taller than, let's say, 5 stories. On the top of the concrete panel construction material, okay, I already did that. Alright, if you want to donate to Mr. Comrade Joe, you can do that as well. Let me show you what the buildings are. They're both blue-ish color. One of them has balconies here, as you can see, the bigger balconies, nice big balconies. I mean, this would be kind of standard in these days, but back in the day, probably having a little bit bigger balcony for potentially, you know, barbecue and stuff would be probably, you know, snazzy. Right, so as you can see, these two buildings, let's compare the prices. So we have two buildings here, 47,000 and 47,000. We already checked the biggest buildings, how expensive they are. The biggest buildings in vanilla game we have, they are around 17,000 rubles, so this is quite expensive compared to those. As you can see here, we need mechanical components, 8 tons of mechanical components for both of them. Anyway, link description video. Pedestrian bridge meant for crossing highways, loosely inspired by bridge in Brno demolished in 2019 because of it as unpopular. The bridge is rather cheap and mostly meant to be a decoration. When placed, it has no collisions, otherwise it has. So anyways, build the road first. Always flatten the terrain, else the bridge and the land pedestrians could slightly sink under the ground. Yes, so let me demonstrate this. This is what I wanted to say, and it's similar to other bridges, some of them even vanilla. Once you place a bridge, it doesn't allow you to build anything underneath there. So this is similar. I will demonstrate this with a railroad as well, I will test this with a railroad as well. So let's just build a couple of railroad lines and see if we're gonna make this bridge look nice or not. We're gonna go for a few of them, so there we go. And we have, of course, highway over here. So if we go to our mod section, we do have this blue icon with the overpass. We have these overpasses for the overpass. How much does it cost? I wanted to just show you this, 4,500. This is by no means cheap. I mean, for overpass, this is pricey. Now you can't. No, you can't. I was like, you can actually put it here, but no. It looks like over the railroads, they would be catching the wires. I'm gonna place them here anyway. I want to show you how it looks like. You would have electricity hoses overhead, and people would be walking through them. So it wouldn't look the nicest here, but I bet you can put it without electricity hoses, just for locomotives. But overpass on the highway is definitely beautiful. Vicom was wondering, why is it so popular? Well, this is the only other option we have with these overpasses, and I believe this looks perfect. It's quite tight with the space, and it's unique, and definitely something you're gonna see in my Let's Plays. But anyway, if you want to check out more from Mr. Vicom and this mod as well, link in the description of the video. Right, Zeppelin Factory by Novu. This is totally not related to the other one. Actually, I don't know, maybe they did cooperate on this one. But anyway, we have a Zeppelin Factory here, an aircraft factory specializing in Zeppelins and blimp manufacturing. Employs 250 workers and 150 engineers. Added delivery truck parking, added tarmac gates located on the platform stations. Right, this is it. We can't really choose any blueprints because we need to choose aircraft parking first. So let's see if we can do this. So if we go and choose the aircraft parking, let's see if we can attach it. Where do we put this bad boy? You can see here we have entrance to this one. Maybe we're gonna have to put it in this direction. Nope, let's try the single one first. So if we go to the 75 meters, here we go, we can level this one, so we can have our first parking space here. Perfect. Let's see if we can do, if we can choose the blueprints. We don't have any blueprints. We can buy it from here. Of course, you can use it for planes, but let's say cargo haulier here, and then choose a blueprint, and we can start constructing our own Zeppelins. You can see the materials required for this Zeppelin. I'm pretty sure that's all in the mod, in the Zeppelin mod, how much it costs material-wise anyway. So you can see here, you can start building your own Zeppelins if you wish to do so. And of course you have tarmac gates over here. Now, does it compare to the... Yeah, it should be. We have this is an aircraft production facility, so we have Zeppelins 240,000. If we go for aircraft here, I believe we will not have an aircraft factory here. It would be in the advanced industries, if I'm able to find it. Here we go, and it's more or less 2.5 times cheaper. 250,000 for Zeppelin, 600,000 for this big airplane factory. Anyway, if you like this, if you want to create your own Zeppelins, link in description of the video. Millet and sheep pens, pens for sheep farming, providing your republic with meat and wool. In the brackets there's fabric. Mods, there's a link to the mods, the whole group of mods. Right, so we have a sheep pen here. As you can see, we have requirements for crops, and then it pops out 1.9 tons of meat and 0.39 tons of fabric. That's a lot of meat for this much fabric. I don't know how much wool does a sheep give in a life, because you wouldn't be slaughtering it for food, but it could be mixed use. It could be mixed use farming for both slaughter and fabric production. But anyway, this is something I'm gonna be using myself in the farming series when we do. We're gonna be doing a series based on farming. You can see you have sheep all over the place. Unfortunately, they are not animated. They are just, well, there. Can we compare this to anything? Well, no. I think we can compare it to. Well, we can demonstrate the price. So if we go and find our sheep farming, that would be. Right here, 2,500, 25 people working in there to produce 0.38 tons of fabric and 2 tons of meat. It could be a little bit productive for this price, but it's a building that doesn't require a lot. It's farming, I think this is something that you're gonna see definitely in my Let's Plays. Abelian Hike 852, an art gallery. Main art gallery of Yerevan, Armenia, employs 42 workers and accepts 210 visitors. You have description in the Russian as well. Right, classic, like the previous mod from Abelian Hike here. Oh, do we have, okay, it is there. There's a balcony here, I saw the doors, but yeah, there's a fence for safety of people. The colors are a little bit on the bright side, and finally I don't have any issues with, well, on my side, with these, with any textures breaking through. At least I don't see that I have any issues. This is white, the white roof top, and we have a black one here. Coloring quite classic for Abelian Hike, and probably in order to make this look a little bit nicer, I would suggest doing something like this. Gravel road. No. We would do something like this, and then put some kind of background here. Well, probably I would put a fountain or something around this area just to make it a little bit nicer for a square. Now, there you go. If you want to build something like an art gallery for your city, there's a mod for you in here. Quite nice model, as usual. Anyway, price tag on this art gallery is... Art gallery 145,000. How does it compare to anything in vanilla? Well, let's try to see here. Art gallery, restaurants, beach, coffee bars, gallery of art. Here we go. Oh, this is quite more expensive than the tourist attraction that we have in vanilla game. So if you want something like this, it's gonna cost you a sweet penny, which is quite realistic because it's not cheaper than the vanilla buildings. Okay, let's butcher this. Gachimuchiman. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. Or Gakimukiman. Anyway. And Lada Niva Urban. So we have Lada Nivas. There are two different models. I remember even seeing this one passing through the Balkans on a truck for sale somewhere in Western Europe. I think it was France or something. Anyway, there was a truckload of these new longer Lada Nivas. I think the model is 3121, I believe, or 2131. These longer ones. The classic Lada Niva is this first four vehicles here. There's more colors than this. I just chose some of the basic ones. So we have basic Lada Niva model here. It just says urban for both of them. This one would have, it's counted as 5 doors, I believe, and this is 3 doors. So let's read the description. Lada Niva Urban is a Russian SUV produced since 2014 at AutoVAZ. It's an update of the usual Niva. Is produced in 2 versions with 3 and 5 doors. Features in the game: maximum speed 143 km per hour, maximum power of 59 kilowatts, weight 1.2 tons, designated for 5 passengers, available in 10 colors for rubles since 2014. If you want to support the Bitcoin, welcome to. There you go. You have the donations if you wish to support the author. Now, I don't know why it's mentioned. Oh, right. This is acting like a bus. Okay, maybe it has a capacity, but it's a personal car, right? Do personal cars have capacities as well? I think they should. So if we go to personal cars, let's real quickly check this out. Yeah, they have a capacity, but I don't believe they work as a buses. We can go all the way in the back and check. No buses here. It just shows them the capacity. I drove one of these bad boys. There's no 5 people fit in there. They have to be anorexic. But anyway, it's a little bit smaller, but it's quite powerful. For me, in my eyes, this is the most iconic Soviet car or Russian car, and having to purchase them from 2014 onwards, I think it's a little bit on a cheeky side. I think they were produced much earlier than that. Also, I heard stories that before 2000s these Lada Nivas were much better quality than the newer ones, so take it as a wish. I heard the older models are a little bit better, to in better condition, or they can last longer. But anyway, you have 4 models here in well, the same colors as these 3 models over here. So if you wish to do and find out more, if you want to build these cars, you need to check the link in the description of the video. Oh, and the price tag is, if we go here, compared to other personal car, and we have 1,343 rubles, which is a little bit more expensive than the cheapest cars we have, and it is a little bit more expensive than almost any other car we have. So it's quite pricey. Anyway, you have a link in the description of the video. 2 weeks ago, when I made a Mod Monday video, I barely missed this one because it was out after I published the Mod Monday video, but I'm not gonna miss it this time. So 2 weeks ago, Žižkov TV tower bar Mordi Slovakian. Tune your an 80s synthesizer heavy music, because we have something special today, unique. A transmitter tower built in Prague, Czechoslovakia between 85 and 1992, designed by architect Václav Oolykee and the structural engineer Jiří Kozak. It stands high above the city traditional skyline from its position on top of the hill in district Žižkov, from which it takes its name. The tower is an example of high-tech architecture, employs 90 workers, 30 moderators. Now this is a thing. Usually people put this as a weather station or pollution monitoring station, or just a decoration. No, mon ami. In this is a TV tower, this is a TV station. You can actually employ people here. You can put it in the middle of your city, and it's gonna be perfectly complementing your skyline without taking a lot of space. Now, workers, I don't think there's enough workers here for 120 people in there, because these all look like single or 2-floor high. But other than that, this is perfect. I think I'm gonna be using this myself. Now, let's check if I'm gonna be using this myself, because we need to check the price tag on this bad boy. 312,000 rubles. I probably should pause because the time is flying. 311,000 rubles for this bad boy. Now if we go to our mod section and we have a television station, I don't think it's comparable. It's comparable. I mean, like, this is no, this building is much smaller and it could be even cheaper. So that means that this Žižkov tower over here is a little bit pricier for its size compared to vanilla buildings, and definitely realistic if you want to use this as your TV station, which I definitely will myself. Minister of Wolves and Joseph Stalin posters. This item has been updated with loyalty and zero collision. Joseph Stalin, Russian fool. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin, original name Georgian. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Jugashvili. Born in December 18. Really? That's like 1 day difference. Okay, whatever. December 6th. Old style calendar. Ah, right. 1878, Gori, Georgia. Russian Empire. See the research notes. Yada yada. Died in March 5th, 1953. Moscow, Russia. Anyway, you have history of Stalin. I'm not gonna read too much about it. I'm gonna present the monuments here. You thought that this episode was gonna be without Joseph Stalin? No. Of course, we're gonna have Joseph Stalin here. Hero of the working people. So you can see here government loyalty and influence is plus 5%, 90 meters distance of influence. 90 meters, I know that it's a quite short distance, but 5%. Let's check how we can compare this to vanilla ones. You can see just under 2,000 rubles for building one of these bad boys. So if we go to our monuments, that would be around here. Can we find Joseph here? Here we go. No, this is angles, and this one hasn't been updated. Right, I have a problem with this. I don't know if I'm gonna be finding this, but let's compare it. Here we go. Let's compare it. This one, this is a red star monument, has a little bit bigger government loyalty influence, 5.2% and 415 meters distance of influence. Other ones I can see here that they have much less distance of influence than the Joseph Stalin, except Lenin here has 4.5, and the distance, sorry, that would be percentage of influence. Distance of influence is one of the lowest ones in the game, as far as I can see. We have this one here that is a little bit bigger, has 65 meter distance, and we have one more 70 meters, this Lenin statue. So this one would have huge influence on your people, but the distance in which it influences people is quite short. So I think it's quite realistic. I think you're gonna see something like this in my Let's Plays. Now if you want to check out more and read the description of the mod, you need to click on the link in the description of the video. Again, how do you come up with this? Novo and Lycra Factory. Lycra is a synthetic fiber made from oil and chemicals similar to polyester. Nylon employs 100 workers. Okay, this is quite realistic. This is literally plastic fiber, which there's a lot of it. I think, is it a shushaki made out of that? Is it like sweatpants, the Adidas one made from Lycra? Or maybe it has materials in there. Anyway, this is material to produce your clothes. Well, it's fabric. So this factory requires, I don't even know where to start with this. Is this a proper ad? Is this how much Lycra can be made from oil? I have no idea, but this is amazing. We have fabric production here. I'm gonna check it. 100 workers, 5 tons of fabrics. Okay, can we compare this to Vanilla Factory? Let's go to clothing and let's check it out. So we have Fabric Factory. This is Vanilla one, 5 tons of fabric. 20 tons of crops, half a ton of chemicals. This one requires more oil but less chemicals. Yeah, makes sense because the base of material is the oil. So yeah, I think it's nice, it's realistic. It's still gonna set you back a lot. 20 tons of crops is vanilla one, and 20 tons of oil, it's more, I think it's a little bit more expensive, so that would be the, well, it would be a little bit more expensive. I think it would. We can check the prices on the market as we play. So we have the market prices here, and are the crops more expensive than 16 rubles per ton selling value? And oil is 40. Yeah, of course, it's 3 times more expensive to build these fabrics. That's why you have 2.5 times less chemicals, but more or less it would be based on, it could be the similar price in the end. Yeah, could be. But anyway, if you want to build something like this now, you can. If you want to make Adidas sweatpants, yes, indeed. So if you want to learn more, link in the description of the video. Right, Magnitogorsk, empty and made by chicken. Magnitogorsk is an industrial city located in Chelyabinsk Oblast, Russia. Current population 400,000. Historically, the city was developed mainly in the 20th century, built by Soviet realism style. In the middle of the city, there's a huge industrial complex called MMK, currently owned by Magnitogorsk Iron and Steel Works. In the game, the map is perfect. If you want to build a city, scale almost 1:1. There is no oil and no uranium. pictures on the screenshots I'm using, texture pack, yada yada yada. You have a link also to YouTube video about this. In real life photos are recent and shown the city of Magnitogorsk. Yes, you have a lot of photos of the city. It's absolutely amazing. Go and check out the link. And this is map of Magnitogorsk area, more or less perfectly representing it. I believe, don't quote me on this, that there should be a hydro dam around here, hydropower plant. Unfortunately, well, I think it could fit the ones that we have, so you can literally make a power plant around here. And usually, as far as I remember, Magnitogorsk has on the right-hand side here on the eastern part of the lake is the industrial zone, and most of the population lives on this side of the lake. It's accumulation lake for the power plants, so it's pretty like slow flowing and quite nice. Magnitogorsk itself, I don't know how polluted it is, because factories and steel mills are practically in the center of the city, but this is really good representation of the area. Now you have a little bit mountainous areas in the east of the map. I'm gonna show you here. As you can see, this is kinda hilly, not more than kinda, and the rest of it, it's more or less flat-ish. Now resources are weird ones. You have a lot of them. You have a lot of resources. Like I said, most of the industrial area is on the right-hand side of the lake, and this represents where the resources are: oil, 0 uranium as well. So most of the resources will be in this high hilly area over here if you want to exploit them. Now this is quite an easy map, so if you want to start exporting as soon as possible, you can do so. The river is navigable, connects to both countries, so you can export by using the waterways as well. So this would be quite interesting. In my book, I'm not really sure how before this area was settled was the forests around here, but I would prefer a little bit more forests on this map. Of course, you can plant them yourself, but definitely really beautiful map representing the real area of Magnitogorsk. I'm gonna leave it here and say I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it. And if you want to support the channel, you have the description of the video. Happy Monday, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.